Hello friends, you are with me for Ancillary Physics 3 and we are discussing with the topics on electricity and electronics. In this lecture, we will discuss the applications of potentiometer. In this, we will discuss three different topics, namely calibration of low range voltmeter, calibration of high range voltmeter, then determination of the value of the unknown resistances. These three topics, all three topics were relatively simple and easy. So we will quickly go through these three topics in this lecture. First topic is calibration of low range voltmeter. How to do that? In the previous lecture, we have discussed how to calibrate the low range ammeter using potentiometer, and we have discussed the experimental procedures and we have given a simple formula to estimate that value. In that way, in a similar fashion, we will discuss this topic as well. For that, we need to follow two-step procedure in experiment. Step 1. Step 1, we need to calculate the balancing length for a standard cell. Let us take a potentiometer which is connected with a battery E1. So these are the two edges of the potentiometer and this is key. Now we have to connect this with another standard cell. You can say yes, and that is then connected to a galvanometer, then a high resistance, and which is then connected to a sliding jockey, and this is the usual setup. Now for a given value of standard resistance, we have to move the sliding jockey from A to B, and we have to identify where a null reading is shown in this galvanometer, and that reading should be noted down. It is, you can denote balancing length. That balancing length we can calculate. It can be calculated. Balancing length is calculated, and that is L. Then we can denote it by L. Now we will move to second step. Step 2. Here the bottom part is replaced with a little bit different circuitry. This is E and this point is A, this point is B, and we can connect this point with simply an voltmeter. Then this voltmeter is connected to jockey. Very simple. Now if you bring this jockey to here, to this point, it will give you 0 volt. And if you bring this jockey to this point, that is at extreme end B, then it will give you the value which is equal to E. In between that, it will show some values. That value will increase from lower value to higher value when you're sliding from A to B. Okay. Now, what we have to do is, we have to make a tabulation. with serial number. Then this PD, potential difference measured in voltmeter, that you can say V prime, and PD by theory, that is V. Then correction, that is V minus V prime, theory versus experiment, difference between theory and experiment. Now you can take multiple readings. What we have to do is, we have to set, you have to move this sliding point, and you have to set on one another point we have missed, balancing length. Balancing length, you can say L prime, then PD through theory, then correction. So this is V, correction will be V minus V prime. Unit will be, for this unit will be volt, meter, volt, volt. Okay, now let's set the value in the voltmeter is 0.1 volt. Right, we are slowly moving this sliding jockey, and we are monitoring the voltmeter. When it comes 0.1 volt, we write what is the length corresponding to that, right? And you can write L1. Similarly, for 0.2 volt, L2, 0.3 volt, L3, 0.4 volt, L4, 0.5 volt, L5. In that way, we can take the reading. Now you see, here we have calculated the balancing length L, and this is the applied potential to this voltmeter, so that now using this 2 we can write potential difference per centimeter, that we can write, or unit length we can write E by L. So this value is E and this balancing length is L, so we can write E by L. Now theoretically, we have set 0.1 volt for first case, and for that we have L1, and 0.2 volt we get, this is L1, and next case L2. In that way we have a reading here. Now this potential difference we can calculate. Right, this potential difference we can write the formula for potential difference in the second case. That we can write this E by L multiplied by this L prime. These all are in volt. Okay. Now this is nothing but the theoretical V. So this is V actually, theoretical V. So we can calculate using this. How to calculate? We know E and L. Now from this tabular column we have L1, L2, L3, that is applied in the place of L prime for different values, and we will write what is V, theoretical V. And the potential, voltmeter readings are already tabulated here. We will make a difference. For example, here it may be 0.09, so that V minus V prime becomes minus 0.01 volt. Volt is there. In that way we can take a tabulation. Now we can draw the calibration graphs like this. In x-axis voltmeter reading, it will be 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 and so on. This is x-axis. and in y-axis we have the correction, that is V minus V prime. This is in volt. Here also this is in volt, and you will get a curve like this, in that way. Okay, this calibration curve we can draw. So from this we can able to get an idea about how this voltmeter is deviating from the theoretical estimation. So this is how we can calibrate the low range voltmeter. And the next topic is high range voltmeter. Topic is calibration of high range voltmeter. Even for this, the step 1 is same. We need to take a battery, a key, and which is connected to a potentiometer in parallel. This is E. Now let's take another standard cell and connect it to voltmeter and to a high resistance, and that will be connected to the sliding jockey. Now for a given this particular standard resistance, we have to calculate the balancing length, that is L, so that from this we can write potential difference per centimeter, which is equal to, and again E by L volt. No doubt on it. And the second part will be, part of the circuit will be as follows. That is step 2. Now this part okay. And the second part, what we have to do is we have to remove all this, and we take two resistors P and Q. It is connected in such a way that there is another DC source that is connected here, and there is a rheostat here. And now let's connect an voltmeter in order to measure how the potential difference is created. What is the potential difference created? Using this battery, you can say that this is E2, this is E1, and this side is connected here, and in the middle we have to take an output that should go to galvanometer, then high resistance, then this will goes to jockey. Okay, and this is P and this is Q, right? These are the junctions. Wherever we put dot, those are the junctions. Okay, so this is the circuit diagram for second part. Now what we have to do is we have to set the value of the P and value of the Q in such a way that the potential difference across this point, potential difference across P, which should not exceed the potential difference between the point AB, right? In that way we have to define the value of P and Q. Now we can write the equation for potential difference across the point P. See, if you have write potential difference across P, then it will be equal to, what is that? So you set a particular value and you set V using a constant value. Now you make the slider over the potentiometer from A to B, and then you find the balancing length for a particular given P. provided that P is the potential difference is not exceeding the potential difference between A, B. In that case, you can write this as E by L, this one, multiplied by, now what the balancing difference we have calculated in the step 2, right? That is L1. Similarly, the potential difference of both PQ, potential difference across PQ, that is this value PD, this value V. What is this value? That value we can write PD across the sum of P plus Q, two resistance, that we can write. In that case, what we have to do is we can write P plus Q by P, then multiplied by E L1 by L. So that is the potential difference across the entire two resistors, right? So now we can calculate, we can vary the value of the potential difference across P and Q for different values of voltages by varying the rheostat. By varying the rheostat, we can make different values in to flow across the voltmeter in this. Now for different values of voltmeter, we can able to calculate the balancing lengths, right? And by knowing the values of P and Q, we can able to theoretically calculate the potential difference across these 2 points, that we can compare with the voltmeter reading, and the difference is nothing but the correction. So for that we have to make a tabular column. Serial number, this voltmeter reading, then balancing length, then again volt PD by theory, PD across P plus Q by theory, then correction. If suppose if this is V prime, this is V, then V minus V prime, right? The unit for this is volt, and here it is meter, here also it is volt, here also it is volt, right? And between voltmeter reading V prime and correction, we can draw the graph as usual. How to draw the graph? And again, this is voltmeter reading. This will be a voltmeter reading. It is in volt. It may be starting from 1 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt, 4 volt, 5 volt, and so on. And this y-axis is correction. This x-axis, correction value. It is V minus V prime. This is also in volt, so it will give you like this. In that way, you will get the correction graph. So this is how we can know. So in each cases, the first part of the circuit is equal, while the second part of the circuit will be slightly different. But the thing is, we are going to calculate effectively the potential difference, and based on the potential difference only, we are applying. If you are calibrating ammeter, we are converting it into current by applying an extra resistance here. In these 2 cases, we are dealing with potential, that is voltage, so that we are dealing with the potential difference across the this point, right? So this is how we can able to calibrate the high range voltmeter. These are all the simple experiments and simple theory. So that you can go through. This is not too hard to understand, I hope. And the third part of the lecture today is how to estimate, how to calculate the value of the unknown resistance given to us using the potentiometer. The third part is measurement of value of unknown resistance. Measurement of the value of unknown resistance. So for this, let me draw the diagram first using the potentiometer. this is A and this is B. So this is the experimental setup to calculate the unknown resistance, to calculate the value of the given unknown resistance. See here there is a battery E1, key rheostat 1. This is the potentiometer of length AB, which is 10 meter, a galvanometer, jacky. There are 5 connecting points. Here resistance P, resistance Q, second battery, rheostat, key. Okay. Now see this resistor P is known resistor. P is known resistor while Q is unknown, and this is to be calculated, this is to be measured. For this purpose, what we are going to do is we are going to apply some current into this using the battery. In series, current is same current is divided, right? So in series, potential will be divided, current is not divided. It will be the same. If there are multiple components in series, the current is equal for all the cases. Whereas if it is unparallel, then the potential will be equal. Here there are 2 resistors for a steady, for a given potential, the steady current will be flowing in this circuit, right? Now what we are going to do is, first we are going to connect the point 1 and 2 with point 4 and 5, so that this circuit will be connected. Now we can able to find out the balancing length for the given resistance B, that we can denote by L1, right? So first step, potential difference across P and the balancing length. And the balancing length is L1. And second step is, now what we are going to do is we are going to remove this and we will connect 2 and 3 with the 4 and 5. That is the resistance, unknown resistance is connected with these 2 points. Now we can able to calculate the same. Now again for the potential difference across Q, again for the same current applied, for the same current applied, same steady current, we can able to calculate the balancing length L2. So balancing length L1, L2 is connected. Now this balancing length, sorry, now this this potential difference across P and potential difference across Q, that is depending upon the current flowing through it and multiplied by this resistance P, right? That is potential difference, right? So that current, steady current and the P that we know, right? This, the product of this will determine potential difference V, right? And now this is proportional to L1, right? You can say that the balancing length L1 is proportional to P and I, or we can write IP, right? If the current and if the current is high and the resistance is high, then it will take more length to balance in potentiometer. If it is low, then it will be quickly balanced, right? So it is directly proportional to. Similarly, for the unknown case also, the balancing length L2 is proportional to I into Q only. In both cases, the current is same. Now we can write this equation for I is equal to L1 by P in this case, or other case I equal to L2 by Q. So now as left hand sides are equal, so right hand side must be equal. So L1 by P which is equal to L2 by Q. So that you can write P by Q which is equal to L1 by L2, and we want to know what is Q, so that L2 by L1 multiplied by P. Okay. So in this case, we know the length L2 and we know length L1, balancing length L2 for the unknown resistance and balancing length L1 for the known resistance P, and the value of the P are all known, only the Q is unknown. So using this way we can calculate. How to do that? We can have a tabular column for that, serial number, then what is the value of P in ohms. So this we can repeat it for different P, different known values of P. So P in ohms, then balancing length L1 for Q, sorry L1 for P, and balancing length L2 for Q. When P is connected, we can calculate balancing length L1. When Q is connected, we can calculate balancing length L2. So that we have to calculate for different values of P, right? Then we can apply formula, that is Q is equal to L2 by L1 multiplied by P, right? This we can calculate it for several values. Then at last, let's take average Q. That is the value of the unknown resistance given to us. So in that way, we can able to calculate, or we can able to measure the value of the given unknown resistance. So in this lecture, we have discussed three different topics. One is how to calculate, how to calibrate the low range voltmeter. Second point is how to calibrate high range voltmeter, and third point is measurement of unknown resistance. So with that, let me stop here. We will resume back from some other topics in the next video. Until then, be safe. Bye.